Hey guys, it's me Max, and today we are back with another episode of the Aftergame, where today we have a TVZ on Alkion, Alkalon, eh, that map. Now, before we start, one of our main goals for this particular episode, or kind of our fundamentals that we're going to work on for this one, it was a combination of trying to expand a little bit earlier and to apply some early game pressure. And having played this game yesterday, I think, we actually did, or we do a okay job at that, so I feel rather happy about that. But without further ado, I suppose let's get this thing started. Go to production, gotta remember the keys. Basically, first few minutes are pretty stagnant, just standard, build drones, build SCVs. Keep on top of SCVs, go for an early gas, because my plan here is to go for some early Hellion aggression, because Reapers, in my experience, aren't all too well on Alkion Waste, because there's only pretty much this little area right here for Reapers to go up, and this little area. And maybe a queen position like here or here really can kind of shut that down. Now, while it can work, it's just Hellions have a better chance of just running up the ramp and getting in here and doing tons of damage. So that was my thought process behind that. There we go. First supply depot. He just keeps on building. Builds a butt ton of drones that I do discover with this. Thought he was going for a more aggressive build because I did not see the hatchery, so I'm like, oh god, aggression. And then I see that there's more than 7 drones and no expansion. So I figured, okay, he's just trying to guess expand. So sit here, poke at the drone, just basically delay the, what's it called, the expansion at basically any cost. And behind this, I'm just grabbing my barracks and completing my wall off. And I forced him to build a spawning pool probably earlier than he wanted to, which is always nice. And I just have it freaking out on a patrol path so I don't get the one idle SCV warning thing. Now this is about the time soon where I go for the factory, and this Overlord just gets the perfect scout. Does he actually see it? Hang on, let's see. Does he see... You don't need to do player camera. He sees something. Does he... I'm fairly certain he Yeah, he... Oh, does he go back in? He's probably focused on this. Did he actually not grab any of the information? I mean, he sees the reactor going down on a barracks, so he probably assumes...
Add-on complete.
Basically, I scan, see what he has. See that he still hasn't really moved from his original plan. This is kind of embarrassing. I didn't notice the single drone here. I mean, I still delayed the expansion, but I could have done better against that. I think I eventually realized that, and getting the first 2 Hellions. Yeah, there we go. I knew the second I would have clicked away, it would have happened. Yeah, just do some real annoyance. And this is when I first discover that he goes for, because I'm pretty sure this, if I remember right, this SCV lives long enough to see the Baneling Nest and the Roach Warren, so the Baneling Roach shoot odd. It dies, but it's one of those, I delayed the expansion for a very long time and got choice scouting information, so SCV lived out its purpose very well. But building in 4 Hellions to at least establish map control so I can expand behind it. If I do damage with it, I was thinking, cool, but I won't die if I don't. Yes, I'm still in Bronze League. Yes, I get supply depot, or I get supply blocked. I have to queue up supply depots. Welcome to StarCraft 2. There we go, just doing basic macro. Behind it, getting Widow Mines for defense because I saw the Banelings. Pretty sure that I, in a couple seconds ago, and actually, yep, here comes the first scout. Nothing's really happening at home worth noting. I see them do respectful micro. Realize I'm not going to kill a Roach, but he front lines his Baneling, so works better for me. Micro. I lose 1, but I do a lot of damage. Hang on, I actually don't know what the Units killed. Control R. Yeah, I mean, I consider that worth it. I mean, we're doing fairly well. See, there's the expansion. Realize I've done respectable damage. Just keep them in the center of the map. Try and get some control and vision over the area. And behind this, I'm building up just a little bit of a bulk force. Grab another barracks. And basically, behind that little push, go to expand and drop my orbital. Now, or actually, I'll just play for a second. Now, this is not exactly something I am proud of, but I was going to play League of Legends with a friend, and I was playing a game of StarCraft 2 and just trying to get a game recorded. Actually, I will pause this for this story. But I was trying to get a game to play that I could later watch and replay to record for the next episode. And I believe it's right about now or the next couple of minutes, which is why you'll start to see my minerals and my stuff floating go really, really high. My friend messaged me on or nudged me on our IM system that we use, and I'm like, well, I'm starting to freak out at this point. And then I have to alt-tab out for a minute, stop my music, change my audio settings. It's, oh my god, I was flipping out. But, yeah, I mean, there's still no real excuse for this. I probably could have gotten a couple more barracks sooner, so that's a bit of a problem. But that wasn't one of the main points. I mean, it's still not good, but it's not ideal. And again, we don't really see much. I just see that there's stuff moving out. Pretty sure there's like an obvious point where, yes, micro, and then I let them walk into my base. Walk his banelings up in the front. Try and microvac, kill what I can. Burrow. I think it's right about now, or soon that, yeah. This is why, that was my mineral, that's why my minerals are so high, is that I had to alt-tab out. So now I'm in just full-on panic mode, and I think, well, okay, if I turtle on Alkion Waste, I have basically 3 bases for free. Wait, is this it? Alright. Focusing on not dying. Yeah, this is it. Get my stuff done, and then... Now I'm in, okay. Now I'm in full-on panic mode. I'm floating so much minerals and resources. I know that he has just butt tons of roaches and banelings, like the ideal composition for just killing me in my turtly stance right now. But I have to turtle in order to live long enough to try and power through this game. So that's my reasoning behind this. Yes, it's boring, but I think we accomplished our goals. And it's nice to see a bit more action-packed. Walks into the Widow Mines. Albeit they're still strong enough to just kill everything that I love in the whole theater. There's no reason for me not to be... This is my, again, being in panic mode. If I was more calm about this, I could have started to get these units out way faster. Come on. Oh my god, they're so low. Oh god. Yeah, I realize that I have to basically let the expansion go. I raid the fly depots and just try and hold out as long as I can. Because I noticed that for a while that he doesn't stop throwing roaches, so I realize that I can live through this. Target down lowest health ones that I can. Patch them back into the mines to the best of my ability. And there's a short little period where everything's dying, and then I realize, mule, repair! But then it just gets shot down. I already have combat shield. Stim is basically what will help me repel these attacks. I have a moment, and this is where I'm like, okay, I can... That moment right there, where there was a very big lapse where his units were running up, that he didn't just stream in. It was at that moment that I realized, alright, now I've got this, I can calm down, relax a little bit, I can hold this now, because he's just throwing units at a ramp that have Widow Mines on it. He's not even doing anything about them. So I realized that I can do this now. All I have to do is burrow that one. But I have Marauders out now. There we go. I have Stim out. I think I stem to kill this. Yep. I'm incredibly oversaturated, but I'm okay with that. I'm alive right now. You can recover from oversaturation. You can't from being dead. Take another CC in an effort to try and re-secure my natural. Another really big, lapse in action. Helps me to kind of give a minute to relax, reestablish my control. Again, he's just building more zerglings and roaches. And because I had to turtle and I thought about this smartly instead of just instantly just GGing, you'll see later that he gets a little bit upset that this is going the way it is. Grab some Hellions, try and do some damage. Either go and do damage against him, maybe, secure some map vision to actually see them when they're coming out. And I think at this point, actually, this is a good point also. Right about now, I'm thinking he has to be miles ahead of me. I've been stuck in my base for the past 20 minutes, basically. He has to have like 7 bases, and I later figured out that he hasn't gotten off his natural. So I think, alright, I can do this. I got this. And I have more than enough units now to basically deflect anything. Now, I think I get Hellbats. Yeah, I got Hellbats when I assumed he would be getting more Banelings. Turns out that doesn't happen. And with that move, my natural's pretty much secured again. Transfer, because I mined out everything in my main base. At least I didn't have to spend anything on actual new workers. Scan, realize that he hasn't teched up at all. No lair, no hive, no nothing. He's just been throwing the same crap against me over and over. And I'll be having my 1-1 soon. Like, I'm a good bit ahead. But I'm not getting too insane. I realize that I'm still not secure enough to go and I'm not secure enough to just walk up and kill him. I don't have that level of security. And that scan you see was to think, oh, well, maybe he took the third base, because it's one scouting position that I didn't get to see. But he's just, again, just 1Aing Banelings and Roaches, and I'm doing fine now. I'm trying to get better about the production. I have just so many minerals floating at this point. I realize that it's a lost cause. I'm not doing anything about it. I don't know how that split happened. I mean, it happened, cool, saved some of my units, but it was an accidental split, so I'm going to take no credit for that at all. Now, I moved the Widow Mines over to the front of what would be my third base to try and prevent any sort of, like, side aggression. But I think I get attacked. Nope. Yeah, I'm moving to take my third base. And I have my... Wait, okay. Did it just lag? Are we good? We're live! Anyway, yeah, I moved these Widow Mines to, again, secure the front of my third. And then I slowly start taking down the rocks here, and I'll take down the rocks here in a moment. Get the sensor tower, which allows me to see attacks like this incoming. Or not yet, but this gives me the kind of map awareness, like just enough awareness and control of my situation to be fine. Start my +2. I don't think he has any upgrades. No, he has 0. It was dumb letting this army get caught out, but after a while I realized that there's no point in trying to save it. It won't accomplish anything. And because I knew I was going to be trying to I was going to try and get Hellbats, I realized that I should probably go for the vehicle and ship plating before I went for weapon first. Because the Hellbat damage is nice, it's more for the tank. And this is when he slowly starts to get aggravated. Any moment. See? This is one of those, he clearly expected this plan to work out way better than it did. And he does the same thing. Of course, I, like a pro, misspell the word here. Same her is not proper English. That's why I turtle all day. See? But it's pretty much just like it says. I had to alt-tab, realized that I wasn't going to be able to put much aggression on, and just sat there and wait until I powered ahead of you. Now, the game's basically over right about here. If I'm right, he leaves right now. Yeah. Now, even if the game wouldn't have gone on for, or would have kept going after that point, my plan was to just 1A with this particular army and pretty much win, if not take out a natural and be miles ahead of him. And if we just look at the units alone, or hell, even this army alone, I think I have enough here. I have 2 Hellbats, 4 Marauders, 20 Marines, a Hellion, 10 Widow Mines against 7 Roaches. And was he building anything else? Yeah, he wasn't building anything else. I could have easily walked up and killed him. So I think we had that game in the bag regardless. So I think that's it, but before we go, we have to do a little bit of a post-analysis of what our points were. Our original point, our very first point, was to try and expand earlier, and you saw that earlier with the fairly early, or at least early by my standards, natural expansion, so we did that pretty well. Or, it, well is subjective, I understand, but good enough for me. And we applied early game aggression with the sick Hellion control that killed off a good amount of banlings and ultimately was fairly worth it for us. So, I mean, I think on that point we're doing fairly well. I think next game I'm going to try and go really aggressively again to try and actually like do more damage. And I'm going to try and work on crisis management because that, when I had to alt tab, I just flipped out and lost like all control over everything that I was doing. But I mean, I think that's a solid point to go on next time. So just we're going to try and retain the lessons that we've learned here by, again, expanding, being more aggressive. We'll have to try and get on top of our production a little bit better. But next game, I'm going to make damn sure that I have no obligations to fulfill. So that won't be happening again. So, I mean, I think we did pretty well. So as for me, that is it, and that's all, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye.